Everyone, please help me welcome Janet Lorenzo and Jason Storm, who will be presenting on Be the One. Before we get started, did anyone lose a phone?
Yeah, that's fine.
That was easy. Could have charged her for it.
Can everyone see me? I know I'm fun size over here.
Stand up!
Aww. Do we have a step stool? I'll use it. Thank you. Thank you everyone for having us here. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Janet Lorenzo. I hold two different roles right now. I'm currently the Department Service Officer, and I'm also the Assistant Adjutant. So you're not going to see me with my cap on like I normally do because I'm in between both positions. Hayworth, I feel like you're telling me to do something back there.
I was scratching my chin. Stand up.
Be nice to your fun-sized friends, guys. So today we're going to be discussing Be the One. Is everyone in here familiar with Be the One and what the mission is?
Very well. Yeah.
Awesome. I don't want to give you a statistics training today. I feel like everyone in this room has already had the statistic training. So let's get back to the basics on what Be the One is about. Be the One is designed to equip American Legion family members with skills to recognize, assess, and respond to veterans in suicide crisis as part of the Legion's Be the One mission to end veteran suicide. Is everyone familiar with the Columbia University Protocol? There's a placard that is handed out that shows how do we assess if a veteran is in need. Is everyone familiar with that? Is everyone familiar with Be the One app? Pull out your cell phones. Let's go ahead and pull out your cell phones, everyone. Because if you do not have the app already installed in your phone before you leave this training, you will have the app moving forward. Why is that important? Anyone want to tell me why Be the One app is important?
Phone numbers are right there.
I need tech support.
What you need?
I need to walk. I need to walk.
You got the court length.
I don't do well with just standing behind the podium. Oh, 5 feet? My height? Can you go 5 feet? Tartar sauce.
Some people trip on
We're tripping off the road.
Okay, so for those of you who are not familiar with Be the One app, it's really simple. You just go to your for me, with an Android, I have a Play Store. And again, it's Be the One. You'll see the Legion logo on it, red, white, and blue. Why is this app so important? The app is incredibly important because it helps guide you to understand whether the veteran is truly in crisis or just needs an ear to listen to. Columbia Protocol, also known as the Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale, gives us a simple, structured way to check in with someone we're worried about. It relies on straightforward questions that any of us can ask. Based on the questions, we can better understand if someone is at risk for suicide and how urgent the situation is. Does that sound like an app that is helpful to utilize within our community? I need participation, guys. Thank you. If you could save the life of one veteran by doing one thing, what would it be? Alex? What would you do? To help save the life of a veteran, what would you do?
Listen.
Yes, listen. Listening to a veteran as they sit and chat with you about what they've gone through in their life is the easiest, most human thing that we can do. Back again to connection, human connection. Other ways that you can help when you know a veteran is in crisis: daily tasks. Go sit with them in their home. Their four walls where they isolate from everyone because they're ashamed, because they feel grief. Sit with them. It's really that simple. We don't have to go through the statistics of who died by suicide and their reasons. More than likely, they did not feel that they had someone that they could sit and open up to. When you hear of a fellow veteran in crisis, it's human nature to want to immediately step in and offer solutions or conflict resolution. However, I challenge our members to resist the urge and instead focus on actively listening and engaging with the veteran in a compassionate and empathetic way. They may be frustrated about the issues themselves, but when you sit and listen, sit and brainstorm, what is their goal? What are they hoping that you're going to say to them?
You're worth being alive.
Say that again.
You're worth being alive.
You are worth being alive. Did you know that when one veteran commits suicide, over 135 people are impacted by that one veteran? That tells you what kind of community is around you that you don't even realize. It's important to recognize that sometimes the most powerful form of support is not offering answers, but simply being present. This approach fosters trust, encourages open communication, and ultimately empowers the veteran to take the necessary steps towards resolving their own crisis. This crisis belongs to the veteran. It does not belong to the advocate helping the veteran. They know what they need to do to assist themselves, but having someone sit there with them and validate them, validate their reasons on why they're feeling this way, encourage them to get help, remind them of who they are, the country that they serve, and the impact that they've had. Every single veteran is a hero. Every single veteran has given up parts of their life to serve this country. Sometimes they just need to be reminded of that. Who better than fellow veterans to remind them? I keep forgetting I don't have a mouse. We can sit here and talk about risk factors. We know firearms is a problem. Or is it? We can talk about age, we can talk about gender. What are you doing within your own post to help veterans? Today, the number one issue facing the veteran community is suicide, according to the National Veteran Suicide Prevention Annual Report. It is estimated that between 17 and 22 veterans of service members that their lives are impacted each day. That's more than 6,000 veterans annually. The rate of suicide for veterans is more than 50%. 50%. Think of that number. Think of your own community. As the global war on terrorism continues, there will be more veterans facing mental health issues such as post-traumatic stress disorder. That's also anxiety, that's also depression. It's looking for a purpose. How do we help our veterans get back to that purpose? I can tell you at my own post, American Legion Post 98 in St. Paul Park, we meet every other month with the names of our veterans that are within our post and within our community. Pick up the phone, call them. I notice you haven't been at the post in the last few weeks. Are you feeling okay? I want you to know I care. Do you need someone to talk to? Would you like to go grocery shopping together? Everyday tasks. How can I be there for you? Let them tell you how you can assist. Don't assume that you can assist based on pushing your own goals because you want them to feel better now. It takes time. Grief takes time. You never know what a veteran is going through, or a neighbor. Show compassion, show empathy. Everyone, I'm pretty certain everyone in this room has experienced the loss of a job, relationship strain, a diagnosis of a terminal illness, death of someone close, especially one by suicide, and sudden and unexpected loss of freedom. Anyone who has experienced these triggering events could have a sense of lost purpose. I've experienced a job loss. I was 7 months pregnant with my second son when I was laid off from Andersen Windows. I didn't know what I was going to do or how I was going to do it. I just knew I felt like a failed mother. That weighs on us. You sit there wondering, what are you going to do next? How are you going to feed your children? How are you going to take care of yourself? Shelters are not ideal for families. Has anyone been in a shelter before? I congratulate you for never having to be in a shelter. I worked in a shelter. It's heartbreaking. It's devastating. Look for the nonverbals. What are they giving away? Are they giving away worldly possessions that mean so much to them? Are they coming to the post? You haven't seen them in years. All of a sudden they're coming to the post. One last drink. One last, how are you doing? I want everyone to remember me like this, not the way I used to be. Those are all signs. Signs that someone is struggling. If you see that veteran or you know they haven't been to the post in quite a long time, I urge you, hold on to them. Let them know you're here and you're noticing their pattern. Does everyone have the Be the One app out? Have you downloaded it? Who needs help downloading the Be the One app? This could be a lifeline to helping a veteran. It asks simple questions. Are you using the app to help yourself or someone else? To support someone else? I'll click on myself. Continue. Are you under the age of 18? No. Have you served in the armed forces? Am I a spouse of immediate family member? The child, the mother, father, sibling of someone who served in the armed forces? I'm assisting someone who has served in the armed forces or none of the above. I'll click on veteran. Do you want to share your location? Not right now. Within the last month, have you wished you were dead or wished you could go to sleep and not wake up? These are very direct questions for a direct purpose. Have you actually had any thoughts about killing yourself? I'm going to click yes to see what this app gives me. Have you thought about how you might do this? In social work, we call that a plan. Giving away your worldly possessions, stopping that by the post for one more drink, one more hoorah. Have you had these thoughts and had any intentions of acting on them? I'll click yes. Have you started to work out or worked out the details of how to kill yourself, and do you intend to carry out this plan? Be honest. Within the past 3 months, how often have you felt this way? Are you in the United States? Very quickly it tells you The answers selected indicate high risk. So as helpers with our veterans, you don't have to try and come up with what you want to say to the veteran. All you have to do is use this app and see if it's relevant to the veteran. Walk with them. We talk about 988 all the time. Has anyone called 988? Thank you, County Veteran Service Officer. Has anyone else called 988? I have. I've used that 988 number with a veteran to walk with them. They don't have to sit there by themselves. You can sit with them with their permission. But also reminding them you're not going to do this by yourself. We're going to find you help and we're going to move you forward because you're worth it. Your family deserves to have you here. Your post members deserve to have you here. There's an impact that you have within your community. They just need to be reminded of that sense of purpose. Safety plans. The last safety plan I had to do with this was with a domestic violence veteran. Helping her find a way out of her domestic abuser's home. I had to bring her to a shelter with her 2 small children while she was also pregnant. They gave her a room. They gave her food. They gave her diapers. They gave her everything that she needed so that she could see you don't have to return back. She thought her life wasn't meant anything. And we had to show her that it was, and her children needed her. It's not ideal, but it's what we have available to us. Walk with her. Now, she's in a 3-bedroom apartment with her 2 children, going to school and thriving. She changed her trauma to something that she can use to empower herself and her children. The kids are thriving. She owed it to them to be here for them. The safety plan template, this one I struggle with. I'll be very upfront with you. I want to give you a heads up as to why this support circle is important. It really narrows down who is in your corner. We have friends, we have families, we have acquaintances, but who is really there for you that you can rely on? I always go back to my chaplain. I always go back to my pastor. I always go back to my best friend. When I'm having a tough day, I know Alex will be there for me when I need her. But I also know she has boundaries in place to tell me, Janet, you need help. She won't let me go to the VA by myself, which has happened before. She'll walk in with me. She'll make sure that I made that appointment, and she'll go to the session with me. She'll call out anytime I can't cuss in here, but BS. When I'm BSing my therapist that everything is fine. I've got my tools. I've got my checklist on what I need to do to make myself feel better. No, she's called me out. I'm a social worker. I know the system. I know what I need to say to get out of it. I don't want to face the actual problems that I have. But the professional help is there. And if I can't be honest with the social worker or with my mental health therapist, I know I can be honest with Alex, and she'll help push me to get help. Why is that important? It's important because I owe it to my family. I owe it to my best friend. I owe it to my community. And I owe it to myself. Get help. You don't have to walk this life alone. Now we're going to do some role playing, and this is where I'm different. I don't want to give you guys statistics. You've heard all of it. I don't want to keep reminding you of the lethal means training, of giving up your guns to another post member that will hold on to it for you. I want to get back to human connection because we seem to be lacking that in today's society. Everyone get up. We are going to go and meet someone that you've never talked to before. Someone you are not familiar with. We're going to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Now go mingle. Go talk to someone and ask them, have you ever thought about committing suicide and what has helped you? It's going to be uncomfortable, I promise you, but it's going to be worthwhile.
Thanks a lot.
How does that feel? Good, chaplain? Good. Bye, bestie. Thank you for coming here to support me.
You're welcome. Bye.
As she runs out the door.
Bye.
Bye, Alex. How did that feel? Can I get some people to come and share? How did that feel? I'm not going to kill you by PowerPoint. Death by PowerPoint, we do this crap all the time. Death by PowerPoint. Death by statistics. Nobody in here, well, I know I don't care about the statistics. I care about my person right next to me. The statistics is what is being reported. We are not just a number. Every single person that has served this country is a hero, damn it. Act like it. Remember your oath. Hey, Mr. Hayworth.
Yeah,
How was that?
that was great.
Man of simple words. Come on up here. He knows I don't operate that way.
All the way up there?
All the way up here.
All the way up. Thanks, It was good. I talked to Mary Whitney, and she had talked about her son, who she didn't know had any of those feelings or thoughts. And I told a story about my friend who I served with, and I got a strange text message from him a little while ago, and he said, "Can you take my guns, bro?" And I'm like, okay, but I don't want to just, I mean, I get what's going on and stuff, but it's like, I'm not going to just take them from you. I'm going to at least give you some cash in your pocket, you know, something to help you along the way. And he had talked about, I said, you know, so what's going on? And he said, he had been dealing with some stuff for many years, since about 2018 or so, 2017, right before, you know, when he went out to the Sinai, Mount Sinai in Egypt. And he was having some relationship problems. He was having some problems with his father. And then going overseas just, you know, obviously didn't help any of that stuff. When he was overseas, he took his firing pin out of his rifle and gave it to his squad leader because he just wasn't feeling safe. And so he came home and brought all of that stuff with him and carried it with him for many years. And you know, he's just been having such a rough time, and he has, you know, he was a crane operator for a long time, and then the drinking just kind of took over, and he couldn't go to work. He's had several jobs since then that he goes to work for about 3 days, and he gets anxiety. Then he has to go back home and isolate. But when he does that, he drinks and drinks a lot. And I'm like, man, I just hate seeing you like this, because you're such a good guy, and you got a lot of stuff going for you. You got 2 beautiful little girls, and and I'm like, you gotta get past this. You gotta get through this somehow. You can't just give up. You're meant for more than this. You're meant for more than this ending. And I'm like, you gotta put the bottle down, and you go to work. Get 2 jobs. Get 2 jobs. Get away from home. Put yourself, get some purpose in your life again. And I'm like, maybe even get checked into St. Cloud VA and do the rehab program up there. And he texted me on New Year's Day to tell me that he was going to go up there, and he's there right now.
Sandy, would you like to come up and share? No?
I would rather not.
Okay. Does anyone else want to come up and share? Robert, come on up. Come on, Robert. Your leadership.
What's your name again?
Shelley.
What are you talking about so much?
Shelley.
Shelley? Shelley, I won't put you on the spot.
Okay, thank you, Robert.
We're fun size together.
We also sang karaoke together too, so.
We did. We had a lot of fun in karaoke, including with John
John
back
too,
there,
yes,
and
so.
Pam Crow was there. I'm pretty certain everyone was holding their ears, but also laughing at us. So we got a good endorphins rolling
They
for
were laughing at
everyone.
you because you kept running behind people so you wouldn't be seen.
It's true. It happened. Hey, sure.
Anyway, Shelley and I, we were talking about some of the things that were going on, and we were talking about if she knew of anybody, and she had mentioned something about her husband, who was having some problems. And he's had a rough time. She was concerned about him, but they seemed to be working it out. And we were talking about things, sometimes they would get upset and get depression, and depression takes a lot out of us. So when you get depressed, it takes more energy from you than anything else, because you can't think about nothing that will just put you even further down. So we were talking about some things to probably snap them out of it. So we were discussing things about laughter. Sometimes laughter is the best, I guess you could say, remedy. If you get people laughing, they forget about the pain that they're going through. So I suggested some things that I would tell her and try to make them laugh. And one of my favorite ones is that I would always tell everybody to get them on the start that, I just can't wait till tomorrow. And I really never can wait till tomorrow. I just can't wait. I just tell everybody I just can't wait until they say, well, why, Robert? What's going on? Well, I always tell them I get better looking each day. So this is something that you want to take the anxiety out by giving them something to say, or whatever. And then we suggested work. I suggested how people hate to go to work. Sometimes you get up, you don't want to go to work, and always remind my friends and my people that I meet that, work is the other 4-letter word. So they kind of think about that, and, oh, no, I got what you mean. I got what you mean. So these are things that, you need to do to bring people out of the mood that they're in, no matter every day. And I always say that laughter is, to me, when I tell people, I get them to laugh, I just tell them I just give them my free vitamin L. And that L stands for laughter.
Free vitamin L.
And one person I asked, what I meant by vitamin L, she replied, love? I said, love? Well, I guess you could say that. You love to laugh. Anyway, so that's all I've got to say. Thank you, sir.
Love and laughter.
Thank you.
Well, at least you didn't tell her about
Say that again, at least you didn't tell her about what?
pen to hand.
Oh,
Oh my,
There's a story there.
It was a great story, though.
oh my.
Don't get rubber.
Mr. Bronk,
Yes, ma'am?
will you please come up and share?
No, because I didn't talk to anybody.
Sir,
Sorry, I'm gonna be honest with you.
that's okay. Jason Storm is going to share.
Well, I think I will share a story with you guys. For all of you who don't know, I am the Assistant Department Service Officer, Jason Storm, hopefully promotable. Hopefully. So I'm going to share a story with you guys just very fast and kind of give my appreciation to the Be The One app, the app that I was not able to use for this situation. But, so when I came into the American Legion as a dad, my friend Dave, who he was a sergeant major in the Army, active duty, then he went into the reserves for some time. He had ended up taking his life just a couple days before our department convention. This is the first convention I'd ever been to. I'd never been involved with so much suicide talk in my life up until joining the Legion. And then within a month's time, my friend had taken his life. I was kind of talking to Carl here about it, and some of the things that we discussed when I showed up to his house prior to him doing so. He wanted to talk to me about how I was doing, and wanted to ask me all these things about what was going on in my life. And I remember the way that he was looking at me, the way he was talking, his demeanor, his voice, his tone, everything about it was different, it was off. But because he had picked up on a situation that I was dealing with, I decided I was going to tell him all about my situation and not ask him about his. To no fault of my own. After I had left, after talking to him, I said to myself, well, something was different. I should have went back, I should have reached out again, I didn't. And then about a week later, that's when he decided to take his pistol and end his life. One of the statistics, I know we're not a statistic day today, but I think it is an important one, because when people reach out to you, the statistic is that you have about 10 minutes. That person has about 10 minutes time when they have started thinking about that action to completing that action. So if they start thinking about this and they reach out to you within 5 minutes, you're now breaking up that 10-minute cycle, and you can hopefully avert it. But you never will avert it if you don't answer that phone. And you never will avert that if you don't take the time to listen to your friend, your battle, your family member. I've lost 4 people in my life to suicide. Saying that out loud is actually a little bit difficult, and I didn't think that would be, but four close people. And this app, I've looked over this app many times, and if I would have had that app prior, I really could have done a better job. I really could have. The questions are simple, they are very direct, and that's what those people need at that time. I think it was either national or maybe it was department, but we had a gal come in talking about another program, and I am going to swear, but it was just fucking ask. That's what it was, and that was the big thing. You just ask, get it out there, be direct. Don't beat around the bush with it. Get to what they need you to do. But that's all I have. That was my story. It's a sad story. But on the flip side of it, that app would have been super beneficial. So I know all of you downloaded it today. Look it over, and if anybody comes up, hopefully you can recognize a little bit more when they're having those situations to deal with. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Mr. Ash, you are the last one that I'm going to call up. Come on up here.
Oh, you wouldn't want to do that.
Oh, I do.
You don't want to do
I do. Michael Ash is probably one of the most relaxing men I've ever met in my life. Relaxing. He doesn't jump to anything. He slows down, he thinks about it, he's not impulsive. However, sometimes even he has a rough day.
Oh, I've had a couple of rough days, but Janet's not around all the time, so sometimes it's okay. No, actually, the person I talked to was Terry over at Post 1. And the first thing we asked each other was, have you ever thought about it? And both of us said no. And we kept on talking. We all know somebody who has. We all know somebody who has. But, and he made a statement which is very good. He said, I can tell when I see the obits, I can tell you, I can point out those people who didn't make it. Those people who decided to end it themselves. And usually the obits won't tell you that they died by suicide. So he's a pretty smart guy. But after talking for a while, and Janet got back up here, he looked at me and he said, you know, you asked me the question at first. After talking to you, I might reconsider. Oh my God, now see. Okay, I just want to make sure because this is really a sad, serious subject. And we had to end with a smile, okay?
Do you have the app?
Yeah.
I'm gonna double check your phone.
You don't want to do that. For many reasons.
Did the role playing help anyone? I see a few people. We don't normally do this. Why? Most trainers just want to put the PowerPoint presentation up there and just give you the details, tell you what you can and cannot do. This isn't that group for that. This group deserves more than that. Does anyone else want to share one last time before we move to questions? Jennifer? Oh my. If we know Jennifer Havlick, we know she has quite a few things to say.
No.
Here we go. There you go, my dear.
I'm not going to talk to you about from a perspective of someone who is asking someone about suicide. I'm going to talk to you about a perspective from someone who's thought about it. Because it's important that you understand what goes through our heads. I'll give you an example. Many years ago, when I was not healthy and not sober, I had a plan. It was a good plan. I was going to take my car and drive it. I lived up north. I was going to take my car and I was going to drive it into a semi because that's going to kill you, right? Lucky for me, I had people who reached out. I had therapists. I quit drinking and using the record. I just got my 30-year coin 3 days ago. What I'm going to tell you is this. I had a plan. I still have a plan. The truth is that once you have a plan, you always have one. I describe it this way. I have a plan and it sits on a knick-knack shelf and it collects dust. And every once in a while, when I'm not minding my mental health, when I'm not talking to my friends, when I'm not engaging with people, or life has caught me off guard, don't have a job, or moving, or whatever it is, I take that plan down off the shelf and I dust it off. And I check to see if it'll still work or if there's a better way to do it. And then I reach out to my friends, or my friends call me, because most of my people know when I'm in a mood. There's a psychic vibe that goes out. You know, there's a disturbance in the force. And someone calls me, and I'm lucky like that. So I put it back on the shelf and I leave it up there, and it sits up there. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I don't want you to think that you can go and ask somebody these questions one time, get them a little bit of therapy, and hope that's it. Because it's not. It's an ongoing process for people who have a plan, and it should be an ongoing process for people who don't have a plan or have never experienced people who have a plan. So that's why I came up here, so that you guys would have a perspective from the other side of the river, so to speak. So if you know somebody who has struggled in the past, continue to check on them. Don't just assume that they had good social workers and good therapists and the VA's doing the right thing, because there's a lot of things that could trip you up. So please continue to reach out to them. Don't consider your job is done, because it's not. And I'm sorry, Mike Ash, I crushed your making everybody laugh last statement, but I thought it was important that you guys had a view from the other side of what this looks like. Thanks.
So I'm sure everyone has quite a bit of cortisol in your brain, or some fight or flight. I'm going to counter that. I've got some treats. But I will also be in the back for anyone that needs to chat. Please understand you matter. You're loved. You're respected. You bring so much to the table. Honor it. Be here for us, and we will be there for you. Thank you.